Oh my god, hey! I'm picking up literally where I just left off in the previous vlog, previously on MickeyJoTheatre in New York. Welcome back to the vlog series. We're here in New York for 2 weeks, seeing mostly Broadway shows. It's a really busy time in New York. Everything is opening. This 2023 to 2024 Broadway season is about to finish with the cutoff for Tony Awards eligibility, so there's like 50,000 shows opening right now. And as part of that, later today, I'm going to be on the opening night hot pink carpet, because, you know, who does red? That's basic. For The Heart of Rock and Roll, opening at the James L. Jones Theatre, an original story featuring the music of Huey Lewis and the News. So, very excited about that. I've done a little bit of carpet stuff recently in the UK, but only very recently have I been dipping my toe into that, and I've obviously never done a Broadway opening night carpet, so I'm both excited and terrified. But I'm comforted by the fact that you will be with me, tiny people in my camera. I've just been on a Zoom meeting for a secret project that I can't tell you about just yet, and last night I made the great decision to pre-buy marble cake, breakfast of champions. So I'm going to have that. I'm going to get changed into my carpet outfit. Right after that, we're running to an event for another show, and then seeing that show afterwards. You'll find out what that is. But come along and join us for another exciting few days in New York. Okay, this is the outfit for the Heart of Rock and Roll opening night carpet. The carpet's pink, but you don't want to match the carpet. You don't want to be confused for the carpet, because then people will walk on you. You want to pop with the carpet. I'm giving blue. The artwork is literally like blue and black and sparkly, so matching that. I was concerned, and I'm proud of this, so I'm going to tell you, I was concerned that this is quite a thin, sparkly turtleneck, and I was like, am I going to be too cold standing outside the James L. Jones Theatre for ages? Should I put a t-shirt underneath? But I was like, I don't want the line here and like the collar line here. What can I wear underneath? I'm wearing yesterday's turtleneck underneath today's turtleneck so that the lines are all the same. I'm a genius. This is also slightly translucent and the other one is grey. It works on multiple levels. I won't be too cold. I am Heart of Rock and Roll ready. Everybody, let's go to Manhattan. And our first stop is a return to one of our favourites, the Melt Shop. They do great like grilled cheeses and burgers and sandwiches. We're about to be stood on a carpet for a few hours, so we've got to stock up on food and drinks. We have each other's swap. Aeron's got a nice little burger situation on gluten-free bread. I went for just like a fried chicken sandwich, which I'm very excited about. I also have some strawberry guava lemonade. Aeron's got a Nutella milkshake situation. And between us, we will open the sharing cheesy tater tots. Love it. Love it. Leaving the Melt Shop, which is somewhere over there. Is this are you blurry? Excuse me. Hold on. Yeah. Is that better? Are you better? We're about to go film carpet interviews, so I need you at your most focused, tiny people in my camera. A little bit nervous, a little bit apprehensive, because this is all very new, and you know, it's not my sphere, because I feel like I would know more of the people I'd be seeing today if this were in the West End. Like, I know the press teams, I know the other people I'd be on the carpet with, and I know some of those here, like some people I'll recognize and chat to, but like performers as well and creatives, we would just have more context, and I would have more of a pre-existing relationship with them, which would make things easier. This siren is following me down Broadway. What I was going to say was feeling a little bit nervous, but I have done all of the preparation I can. I have questions both meaningful and whimsical, and I have different questions geared towards different people, because I have been prepared for some of the VIP guests, as well as the cast and creative who may be walking the carpet this afternoon, but I'm also readying myself for like surprises. The key to anything like this is prepare and then get ready for the stuff you can't prepare for, basically. Is it this one? Yes! Yes, it's this one. Oh, they're already setting up. It's happening. It's happening right now. It's about 2:30. I think the curtain is at 6, and we're not seeing the show tonight. We're dashing off to a different event and a different show, which
is just us all over. But in a moment's time, we'll be at the James Earl Jones Theatre, and I will show you what a Broadway opening night carpet situation looks like. We are here, we are ready. That is the James Earl Jones Theatre, and this is the carpet. Would you call that fuchsia? Is that magenta? Either way, it's pink. It is a hot pink carpet for the heart of rock and roll. They do have a lot of blue. I told you the marketing was blue and black. There's a little bit. I promise you I'm dressed on theme. But you can see all of the outlets have spots designated along here. We are further down over there. And then pretty soon we'll take our spot and we'll get ready to interview some people for the opening night of The Heart of Rock and Roll, a new musical comedy on Broadway. I'm here. I'm standing on a carpet. This is also functioning as me testing this microphone. Hello. Tiny people in my camera. Look how pink it is.
Oh, these are all rock things.
They're all rocks and rolls.
Oh, I love this. I didn't realize. This is great.
Lobster roll or a sushi roll?
Oh, lobster roll.
Sushi roll.
Lobster roll. The warm ones.
Instant feud. I've never tried one. Where am I going for the best
Oh my God,
lobster roll?
to Cape Cod in Massachusetts. You go there and cold only. Do not get a hot lobster roll.
Don't do it.
It's good, but it's mostly about the bread.
Lots of things have bread.
Yeah.
It should not be about the bread.
They don't, well,
I'm allergic to lobster and I love sushi, so that's easy.
Wait, you're gonna kill me, but I'm actually allergic to both of them.
Fine, then
so I
don't-
can't
then
have
don't
either.
eat either of these
But
things.
when I go to sushi and sesame seeds, oh my gosh, this is going so well.
A body roll or a cramp roll?
Or a body roll, 1000%.
Body roll.
Yeah.
Could you do both at the same time?
I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
Cramp roll. On the pink carpet?
Cramp roll, tappers win. Cramp roll. I can't do one, but
I can only because we're on carpet and no one can tell if I'm doing it properly. So it's just like,
Body roll. We do a lot of those in this show.
so I've heard.
A body roll.
Body roll.
Yeah, fits the show theme for
Not,
sure.
not a lot of love for the cramp roll set. Are you all not cramp rolling on the bubble wrap tap?
We're not cramp rolling, but we are body rolling.
Plymouth Rock or Top of the Rock?
Plymouth Rock.
probably Top of the Rock. I feel like Plymouth Rock is problematic or something at this point. You know what I mean?
It's bound to be, and probably also our fault specifically.
Top of the Rock. I went there on a date once. Highly recommend.
It's a good day.
It's a good date. It was
It's a good day.
beautiful.
I mean, it's horrible if it goes badly because then you're just trapped.
And you're
on top
trapped up top.
I've actually never done it. Have you?
Yeah, it's really good.
Is it really good?
It's great. It's my favorite tall building.
Oh my gosh,
I think.
I'll do that later.
You've got a very quiet day. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Plymouth Rock would land on them.
But let me tell you, that rock is so anticlimactic.
Yeah, it is.
I went,
You're not
where
wrong.
is
You're
it?
not wrong.
Tootsie Roll or a sausage roll?
Sausage roll.
I didn't know if anyone in America was going to know what that
Sausage
was.
roll definitely over the Tootsie Roll. Unless you're talking about the Tootsie Roll dance. You know, that's a different story.
Do you know, I hadn't even thought about that. That brings a whole new
It's
dimension
another one.
to the
It's
question.
another one.
Sausage.
Sausage roll.
Yes. Listen, I'm
Beautiful.
married to a Brit.
There you go.
Okay.
Sausage roll, my friend. Tootsie roll.
Sure. You know, I've never had one.
Really?
It looks like a chocolatey, fudgy,
Yeah, but it's neither of those things. That's the sort of incredible thing about a Tootsie Roll is that it doesn't really taste like chocolate. It doesn't really taste like fudge, but it certainly presents as both of those things.
Sure. Pet Rock or Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Oh, Rock'em Sock'em.
Nice.
How fun is that?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's giving Rich Man's Frug at its finest.
It's such an absurd premise. Like Pet Rock sure is, but now people have crystals. So what is a Pet Rock if not a crystal?
Pet Rock, I definitely had and would have again.
So describe to me the allure of the Pet Rock.
You don't have to feed it. I mean, it's cheap. Can I talk about how much I spend on my dog? And it can't love you back, but I guess you can project onto it.
You can.
So,
I understand.
as a matter of fact, I have one.
Yeah.
What if I pulled out a rock?
Can you imagine?
I'm gonna go with Pet Rock because we are anti-violence in this house.
Anti-violence.
I love having pets, even if they're rocks. That's
Even if
great.
they're rock-
Yeah.
Pop Rocks or Rocky Road?
Oh, Pop Rocks. So as part of the promo, they gave us a bunch of Pop Rocks, and I hadn't had them since I was a kid, and I put a whole pack in my mouth, and it was just as painful as ever.
Pop rocks, because let's face it, what even equals the experience of having things explode in your mouth?
Pop Rocks are just, again, an absurd candy. Someone says, I need something a little bit violent, but it kind of tastes good.
And
Pop rocks.
Pop Rocks.
Before you even say it,
Doesn't matter what else it is.
Pop Rocks.
Pop Rocks are $100,000.
Put it on your tongue and it'll feel good in your mouth.
Rock concert or roller coaster?
Rock concert.
I mean, why am I even asking?
A musician, it's gonna be a rock concert, yeah.
Don't like roller coasters. Don't put me on a roller coaster.
I would never dream of it.
Please don't do it.
Rock concert or a roller coaster?
Roller coaster. That is my top 5 favorite things in my entire life.
I'm gonna go with roller coaster because I'm so short I can never see anything at concerts.
But tall enough to ride the roller coasters.
But finally tall enough to ride the roller coaster.
Oh, a roller coaster, which is what our show is. A roller coaster ride of fun.
I mean, it's kind of both. It's a rock concert and a roller coaster.
Yeah, you're right. It is both.
I think both. Because if you get a really good rock concert, it makes you feel like you're on a roller coaster.
The perfect answer. Rock of Ages or Merrily We Roll.
Rock of Ages.
Don't even, regardless of the next option.
Merrily is my second favorite musical, so I'm picking Merrily.
There you go. After the Heart of Rock and Roll?
After Sweeney Todd.
And both of them after the Heart of Rock and Roll?
After the Heart of Rock and Roll.
Oh, it's Rock of Ages.
Nice.
For sure.
Nice. I mean, they're very similar.
Yeah.
Almost exactly the same show.
Exactly. Yeah, same score, you know, same storyline. Yeah, exactly.
Sondheim saw Rock of Ages and was like, only.
Most likely, Heart of Rock and Roll.
There you go. Even better. Well, I hope you get to eat all of those things.
Me too. I'm hungry now.
Party.
Let's go to dinner. Come on.
I'm here with my good friend Katie Oxman. And you're wearing cardboard to the carpet of Hard Rock and Roll, which everyone around me is very excited about. I have not seen the show yet. So.
Oh, I can't wait for you to understand. There is a famous line, infamous really, in this show that goes, "Oh my God, it's cardboard." And they all work at a cardboard factory, and I have really taken that all the way.
While the audience is laughing on Monday night, when we see the show, we're going to turn to each other, Aeron and I, and go, and then I'll message you and go, But the commitment and the craftsmanship, lobster roll or sushi roll?
Lobster roll.
Lobster roll.
Every time.
He looked at me with disgust then, just like...
It's a California roll. No one likes a California roll.
Plymouth Rock or Top of the Rock?
Top of the Rock.
I'm glad I'm practicing this with you because I forgot what that was. That was like, it's buildings.
Top of the Rock is the best view in New York because you get to see all of New York. And if you're on the Empire State Building, you can't see the Empire State Building.
You can't see the Empire State Building.
So what's the point?
Yeah, no, you're so right. Body roll or a cramp roll?
I like tap dancing, so that one.
That one. It's Tootsie Roll or a sausage roll?
Again, I know what a sausage roll is because I've been to London.
That's been popular
Has
today.
it? Good. Yeah. Greg's.
This is a huge deal because what you can see just there in the bag is the legacy robe that has passed between the performers in newly opening shows who have been in the most Broadway ensembles. It's very cool. Okay, and as the VIP guests begin to arrive, we devastatingly have to head away. However, there are a lot of people on that carpet and they were like taking their time with the early outlets, which is very nice, that they were talking to them a lot, but by the time they get to us, it's going to be showtime, so we decided let's head now and not be late for the next event.
You speak to Lorna Luft.
I did get to speak to Lorna Luft, but also the cast and creatives of this show who were so excited because it's their opening night, and those are the people it was the most fun to speak to, and we got great answers to my inane questions. But now we're heading to the next event, which is downtown at the Strand bookstore for the Great Gatsby, where my friend and one of your faves, surely, Brendan of Wait in the Wings, here on YouTube, is interviewing Kate Kerrigan from the creative team of the Great Gatsby, and then we're going to see the show later tonight. I am not dressed for the Great Gatsby necessarily, because I should really be wearing green, but I'm wearing blue.
I'm wearing green, but the wrong green.
You know what? Life will go on. For now, we are gunning it downtown to get to that event. Haha! And just like magic, thanks to the N, we are where we need to be. Bless the subway for making the madness of today's schedule, and honestly, much of the rest of our trip possible. That is the subway exit we were supposed to take. Not crossing yet, now crossing. That's the subway exit I wanted to take. 1 minute we were in Times Square, then we're down on 14th Street. We're looking for the Strand bookstore. It's round here somewhere. We see it, we found it, and we approach. Hopefully we're here in time for the next event, all about The Great Gatsby on Broadway.
The best place to start is, when were you introduced to The Great Gatsby novel?
I think the first time I read it was when I was in 11th grade. I had a teacher named Mr. Jones, and we read, it was an American literature course, and I definitely had to write a paper on it, and I liked it. It was not my favorite novel. I was pretty into women's literature at the time, and there was not any women's literature on the syllabus, and I had some feelings about that, and I made them known.
How has it been for you trying to juggle A, pleasing the Fitzgerald purists and the people who love Great Gatsby, but then B, taking the book and using it to introduce people who have no idea what the book is?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things that are kind of exciting about doing this right now. There's something amazing about having everyone walk in the door, for the most part, with a relationship with this book, and having there be something that they love about this story. I do feel a great responsibility to deliver on the things people love about this story, but at the same time, it's on stage. It's not. It's not a novel anymore. In our version of it, it's not a novel. And one of the things that a novel is really good at is narration and first-person perspective. And something that a musical is really good at is to dive into lots of different characters and make you feel for those people. And so looking at this, one of the things that I got really excited about when I was approached about it was that I'd always felt connected to Nick, which is kind of no surprise. I think most people who read the book feel connected to Nick. And I felt really distanced from not only the women in the book, who I was really fascinated by but didn't understand, but also Gatsby, who is in the book primarily a symbol. And so the opportunity to go into this story and actually try to dive into those characters and allow them to be human beings, as soon as a person walks on stage, as soon as Jeremy Jordan walks on stage and is playing the role of Jay Gatsby, he is no longer a symbol. He is a flesh and blood, unbelievably talented and like charismatic, exciting person, and you want to know more about him. What does it actually mean? Who are these characters actually? How do I feel about these people now as an adult? And being able to go back to Daisy and look at her actual circumstances. What is it like to be a woman in 1922? What does it feel like to be a woman in 1922? What are her actual options? What is she allowed to do here? How is that similar and different from what Myrtle is allowed to do? How is that similar and different from what Jordan is allowed to do as a woman who is yet to get married? And how are they making choices in spite of the fact that they are restricted? And so that got me really excited. And that was one of the first reasons I really wanted to go into this story.
So can you walk me through what your process was, especially going into Paper Mill, with getting to the heart of what these characters wanted and who they were?
I mean, a lot of it goes back to going to the text and looking at direct quotes that are inside the book. There's this line that Daisy has about these beautiful shirts, and I would tell somebody I was doing this adaptation, and somebody would quote a line back to me, and I sort of challenged myself anytime there was a quote. If I could put it into the show, I put it into the show. So as you look at some of those lines, they're a little bit opaque sometimes. You don't know exactly why they say them. For example, the line that I mentioned where Daisy talks about these beautiful shirts, in the book, most interpretations of the book is that she's vacuous and that she doesn't, and that she's enamored with the trinkets and the extravagance. She could be. I don't think that's as interesting as the alternative, which is that she is filled with an emotion that overwhelms her, and she doesn't have the words to explain what she's feeling. She doesn't know how to talk about the fact that this man disappeared 5 years ago and now is standing in front of her, and he's made this extraordinary thing, and it's confusing and also beautiful and also overwhelming. And I think that's so much more interesting. And it was I sort of gave it to myself as a challenge. I was like, can we have this line make people cry? Because I think it could. I think it could be beautiful. And we had a lot of lines like that. There's a line where Jordan says this kind of flipped thing about how she likes large parties, and it doesn't quite, it's a great line, but like it doesn't quite mean anything. But if you put it in the right context, it suddenly has a lot of meaning, and you start to see that the fact that she's being set up by her friend, and now she's able to be herself and be who she wants to be in this large party because nobody's looking at her. And so trying to find that way of making all of those things mean even more, or mean what they could mean, because that's what they came to mean to me as I worked on it. But that was a lot of it. It started not from research outside the text. It started from the text, and then just looking at the actual like constructs of like what was going on in 1922, and what was going, especially like for women and for people of for immigrants, for people of different classes, what was happening, and what could you and could you not get away with as a person. There was this sort of fiction of class mobility that suddenly existed in that era, but it also wasn't quite real. And so looking at those kinds of historical contexts next to the actual text of the book.
Were any of the characters difficult to write for?
Oh, Nick. Nick was the hardest to write for. Nick was the hardest one to write for because he doesn't want anything in the action of the show in the way that the other characters want something in the action of the show. But we struggled the most with somewhat with Nick, and also Jordan was a little bit challenging to figure out how to make musical. She's really fun to write dialogue for. I have pages and pages and pages of cut dialogue for Jordan. I could go on forever. But that writing songs for her was really challenging because she's got this sort of cynical edge, and figuring out the tone of that is really hard too. It's really nice to work with my husband. He's very good at what he does. And we know each other so well. And during the pandemic, it was especially nice because we were able to, not binge another TV show, as we said, and instead work on this.
Thank you both. Let's give them another round of applause. Round of applause for Paul and his friend for helping set this all up. I know we have a curtain, right? But I think there's still a few minutes to just kind of mingle and eat the rest of that food and then get to the show. Yeah, to this too. Thank you.
So that was very exciting. How often do you get to hear a musical theatre book writer talking about their inspirations in adapting and interpreting a iconic work? But also, this space is very cool. So this is the Rare Books room in the Strand bookstore on Broadway, but way down Broadway. Look at all of the books. What a perfect space for this kind of an event. This, by the way, because I haven't showed you this before, is Union Square. I assume it's the same Union Square as Ragtime.
I know.
The one that Goldman spoke in. Although I always pictured that having walls. I don't know. And now we're going to the Broadway Theatre to go see The Great Gatsby. I am excited, I'm just also exhausted. And my first stop is going to be at the bar, because I think a specialty cocktail is going to be a very good thing in my life. We can see it! I see the green light! It beckons to the Broadway Theatre. Yes, that is called the Broadway Theatre. I know they're all Broadway theatres, but this one is called the Broadway Theatre because it is on the street Broadway. You get the idea. Last time we were here seeing a show, it was for Here Lies Love, which was also this same Broadway season. Life comes at you fast because it is now The Great Gatsby, which we saw back in October at Paper Mill Playhouse, making it the first show we will have ever seen regionally in the US, and then the Broadway transfer of around 6 months later. I'm very excited to go to this particular party. So there's a bar. As soon as you enter the theatre, there is also one on the lower down basement level, which also has restrooms. Here are the drink specials currently on offer here at the Broadway Theatre. We have the Old Sport, bourbon, grenadine and cola. We have the New Money, which is peach vodka, peach schnapps, ginger beer and club soda. That sounds similar to other drinks I've had this week. The Pammy is non-alcoholic, lemon, lime soda and grenadine. The Daisy, Aperol, Prosecco and club soda, fancy. And then the Green Light, which is tequila, hello, green apple schnapps, club soda and lime juice. And I assume it's green. There's also a showcase of the merchandise down here, but the merchandise can actually be bought on the orchestra level when you first get in. But this is great for me because it means I can show you the merchandise. So we have the t-shirt there. You can also see a hoodie, which has the logo on one side there. There's also the Old Sport hat, which I can show you down there as well. That's quite a cute little design. The back of the hoodie has that. It said, "Where's the party and can you take me there?" We also have a bag, which you can see here. Cute. We have like cups and possibly a cocktail shaker as well. There's a little friendship bracelet that says New Money with, of course, little green bits to it. We have an enamel pin badge. We have a magnet. And I think that is just about everything. Oh, there you go. You can see what it says in the cup. It says large parties. Oh, I love large parties. They're so intimate. That's one of the lines that Jordan says in the show. And look, you can see some more of the bag here. Got a little map of locations featured in the story. How's that? Up here on the orchestra level, where you can actually buy the things, you can see all of the prices, and we can also see the back of the t-shirt. It said the party's roaring on, with that very cute 20s design there. And we also have the poster. And this is the auditorium of the Broadway Theatre. Last time we were here, like I said, completely different for Here Lies Love. Not only was it a different show, but the whole auditorium was completely reconceived and reconfigured. The orchestra seating was taken out to make way for an immersive standing dance floor experience. So this looks completely different to me, and I could not pick this theatre out of a lineup. I cannot begin, because we saw it a second time from the mezzanine, I cannot begin to figure out where everything was. It looks so different. It is now much more traditional, with a beautiful chandelier and this lovely stage design with the glowing sea green and blue lightings. And there was just a member of the technical team doing something with a light over here. We love to see someone saving the show before it's even started. But how gorgeous is the auditorium of the Broadway Theatre? If it looks like my view is restricted, it's not really. If I actually held this to where my eyes were, that bar's really not in my way. You can just about see the orchestra down there. You can see that beautiful design on the set, and I am sat, for your context, in the mezzanine in seat D1, which, because of the way the numbering system works here, puts me on the aisle, which I'm thrilled about because I have long blue legs today. Aeron James, how is the beverage?
It's nice. It's basically the same as the one we had on our first night at the Notebook.
Which is what we know we like. At the time, I said the ginger beer was what I needed. Let's see if it still is. It is nice. It is nice. I love a peach-based cocktail here on Broadway. I kind of think they should have more like sparkling, like Prosecco and champagne-based cocktails. Just because the Great Gatsby. Like, I don't know. If you showed me this cocktail list, other than the names of things, I don't know that I could tell you, oh yeah, those are Great Gatsby cocktails.
But I don't think you'd have it as a cocktail. I think you just order a champagne and get it in there.
I mean, you could do that, but then also like build it. I want to see more diversity in the cocktail lists. You know, I feel very strongly about these specialty beverages. We do have a cup. Is this our first?
It's our first themed cup.
It's our first show cup of the trip. There you go. Something great is coming to Broadway. In fact, it's already here. So when a principal understudy is on Broadway, you will get a slip in your playbill, and at this performance, the role of Jordan Baker, usually played by Samantha Pauly, will be played by Dariana Mullen, and so the ensemble track, usually played by Dariana Mullen, will be played by Carissa, and that is a surname. I'm going to go for it. Gowran? Probably one of those. But I believe these are both debuts in these respective tracks, because we're still in previews.
Especially her Broadway debut.
And her Broadway debut, says Aeron. Wow! And I apologise for not being able to pronounce her name. Oh my god, hey, we're in. No, we're not. The show has finished, and we are lingering on the mezzanine level of the Broadway Theatre to have chandelier glam photos taken by the wonderful Broadway photographer and our dear friend Rebecca Michelson. We're currently in a queue, and I'm glad I wore a shiny top. Good morning, team. The hair is a work in progress. Welcome to another exciting day in Brooklyn, New York. No work for us this morning because it's the weekend. Everybody's ready for the weekend. That was a rogue non-Broadway reference from me and I regretted it immediately. Did I leave you on a cliffhanger yesterday? Did I tell you what we did? So we went to see The Great Gatsby, post a Great Gatsby event, post the Heart of Rock and Roll opening night carpet. 2 shows were opening on Broadway last night, Heart of Rock and Roll and Stereophonic. They both had parties. And then we went to the Glass House Tavern, which I never normally vlog our trips to the Glass House Tavern because we're just like socialising with friends. We get to see a bunch of people because it's a great hangout spot that performers also go to sometimes. So we've seen a bunch of people in there before. Favourite Glass House Tavern memory may have been being in there at midnight waiting for the bad Cinderella reviews to drop like it was a presidential election and Jonathan Groff was in the next booth over. Another time it was someone's birthday and Alex Newell we all sang Happy Birthday and then everyone dropped out because Alex Newell was singing Happy Birthday and we were singing Happy Birthday but Alex Newell was singing Happy Birthday. Anyway, went there, got the risotto balls, had a sparkling peach, had a lovely time. The servers are fantastic and lovely and remember us from our previous visits. Shout out to you, Brandon, you make our life. And then we got juniors, which I had some of last night and some of this morning. Flavour number 2, Devil's Food Cheesecake, for those keeping count. This has become one of my favourite flavours. One of my favourite flavours. Name that musical. It's Ordinary Days. Second Ordinary Days reference of this trip. My goodness. Anyway, today we have 3 shows happening. It is a 3-show Saturday in Manhattan, Broadway, off-Broadway, back to Broadway. But before all of that, there is a free concert happening in Times Square at 11 a.m. with a bunch of Broadway performers, so any lie-in that we may have had, cancelled, gone, because we are absolutely going to that. I am wearing If This Is Love, I'm Not Ready, which just dropped. That's the Notebook cast recording. I'm very lively this morning, aren't I? But I'm also dressed like the Schoenfeld Theatre where this played, because I'm wearing Come From Away socks. Aaron is blinking at me. Aaron is wearing Hadestown socks and Hamilton Spirit jersey. Very nice. It's on the back. We may show you later. But we have a busy day ahead of us because we have shows and shows and shows. And one of the gaps between shows is only like 15 minutes. And we have to head down a bunch of blocks. So it's going to be a day, everybody. Come join us for another exciting day in Manhattan. And just like my hat says, here we are! We're here, we're there, we're heading to Times Square via the Nederlander Theatre because I have to pick up a package from the stage door, which will become clear. Nederlander Theatre where The Who's Tommy is currently playing. R.I.P. Shucked. You were too good and corny for this world, but I loved you. Where is the stage door? That wasn't it. Retrieved. Thank you, nice man on box office. Thank you, nice doorman, for helping me to get to the stage door, which I will say, Sunset Boulevard is not coming here, but if it was, the route between the stage door, which comes into the foyer, and the backstage area would be a great place to do the whole Sunset Boulevard thing. I'm just saying. I could see it in my mind, but that's not coming here. The Who's Tommy is here. Pinball Wizard. I don't know much about the show. I'll find out more next week, because we're seeing it next week. But for now, I have picked up a bag of some of the merchandise, because I'm doing a merchandise collab with Creative Goods, who are the supplier of merchandise for this show and many of the shows on Broadway. They're the geniuses behind the tissue boxes at the Notebook and other such fantastic merchandise. I love the stuff that they make, and I'm very excited to show you the contents of this bag. Okay, we think we see it over there. This is free outdoor performance in Times Square, which in many ways is a free outdoor performance every day. But it's for Earth Day, right? And it was Green Alliance?
Green Alliance.
Green Alliance.
Green Alliance.
There you go, but there are Broadway performers performing, and we're like moths to a flame. Also, I'm still nursing this cheesecake, and I'm carrying it like a clutch, and I would actually like them to put handles on these bags, or like, can someone manufacture handles that you can attach to Junior's boxes, so you can turn them all into handbags? Because I think that would be the #1 New York party accessory, just a little cheesecake.
Welcome you all to the Broadway Earth Day concert in Times Square. How cool is this? I'm your Broadway buddy, Ben Cameron. I am very excited. I'm honored, frankly, to be here hosting the festivities today. Super cool. We are in Times Square. I want to say hello to everyone who is watching virtually, which must be over here somewhere, on Stars in the House, which is so cool. Broadway Green Alliance, or BGA, as we lovingly like to refer to it, because who's got time, is working to make all of Broadway and theaters across the country more sustainable. Flip page. Today, we're proud to be part of NYC Department of Transportation's Car-Free Earth Day. Opening streets to pedestrians throughout the city. Here on Broadway, we are car-free all the way, or the cars, all the way down. Not sure, it's got to be car-free somewhere. All the way down to Union Square, which is very, very cool.
Someday we'll find it. The rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and
These are our next performers from Perkiomen Valley High School. What I respect is that they heard green and they ran with that.
Now I know he'll appear, and there are rules and there are strictures.
Next up we have some lovely crooning from Aladdin himself. Big month for Aladdin.
And my heart seems to know that love said hello, though not a word was spoken. Make her and finally make you proud of your boy.
We're just about to enjoy a performance from The Apple Boys, which is a new musical we're all finding out about now. I am allergic to apples, I'll let you know how that goes.
I went to take the IRT and saw they raised the fare, so I paid the extra nickel just to get to Union Square. Then I waited, but there never was a train, so I go to transfer overground when it began to rain. Oh, the platform was so windy that my hands were getting numb. Then I took a step and stepped into somebody's chewing gum. When the train finally arrived, my soul was hanging by a thread. Yes, I elbowed through the crowd and then the door closed on my head.
Wicked is officially Broadway's 4th longest show. No, longest running show. Although, quite frankly, it's fairly long. Wicked helped lead the switch of single-use batteries to rechargeable batteries used in microphones. That is amazing, actually. By switching, Wicked went from using over 15,000 batteries a year, which wound up in landfills, to only 80 batteries a year. Spared from landfills, unbelievable.
The wizard
Don't make me laugh.
who can say I've been changed for the better.
How long that love has arrived, and I think I'm alive.
Ba-da-da, ba-da, ba-da-da, da, ba-da-da, ba-da. Jelani Remy made us all stand up. Tony Award winner icon Ruthie Ann Miles from the current cast of Sweeney Todd. Shout out to this Here We Are baseball cap that is keeping my neck from burning in the unexpected heat. Jelani Remy sang The Sun Will Come Out Tomorrow, and then it came out right now.
And green can be big, like a mountain, or important, like a river, or tall like a tree.
song choice with It's Not Easy Being Green, but also somehow a Tony Awards worthy performance from Ruthie Ann Miles.
And now I'm going to sing a song about someone that really wants to make a difference in his own life and in the world.
It's Casey Likes from Back to the Future giving you Corner of the Sky from Pippin.
Everything has its season, everything has its time. Show me a reason and I'll soon show you mine.
So Moulin Rouge's Courtney Reed is currently singing for Broadway Sings for Earth Day. Singing, asking the people if they ever feel like a plastic bag, which that's environmentally conscious. Raising awareness of single-use plastics via the lyrics of songwriter and poet Katy Perry. I'm looking for something small and lunchy before we do our 3-show day. I don't know if I've told you this. 3 shows today after Broadway Sings for Earth Day. That was just the appetizer to the 3-course meal of theatrical feast that we are having today. These words aren't making sense. Do I want just like a street corn dog? I'm not against that. I think I've only got $20 bills. And I would need smaller cash. I mean, they'd give me change. I'm hesitant. Or do I go get Raising Cane's, which is a fried chicken place here that we've circled around the block. Is she duetting with John Cardoza? Courtney Reed and John Cardoza are singing Aladdin. Did not see that coming. Oh my god, hey, this is a PSA about corn dogs in Times Square, which I kind of saw coming, and like, this was naive of me. I just got charged $16.33 for a corn dog because they don't show the prices on the outside of the cart, and they take your card and they put it in the thing and they don't show you how much you're paying. So, like, if you want to know how much you're paying, do what I do and make sure you have a banking app that is going to give you a notification on your phone, but even then, it's too late, you paid it then. It's still substantial, like, when we get like a Schmackery's or a Junior Slice, that's still like $10. But I'm annoyed. Thank goodness it's a good corn dog. Post corn dog just popped into One Schubert Alley. There's the sign. That is one of a few Broadway merchandise shops that you can find right here in Schubert Alley, which, as a reminder, is the little pedestrianised stretch in between 44th and 45th Street. You can find it nestled between the Schubert and Booth theatres, appropriately enough, and it's also where we come to get Junior's cheesecake. But I purchased Back to the Future socks. I'm on a whole theatre-themed sock kick at the moment, and you know, they're expensive for socks. So it's not the cheapest thing to collect. However,
Hadestown.
You're wearing Hadestown socks? Yeah? Aeron collects like the pins. I've started becoming a sock person because I used to be a teacher and I would only wear black and grey socks for no real reason. That wasn't in my contract, but in my head I was like, that's like a teacher's sock. And now I'm like, I don't do that anymore. I can wear exciting socks every day of the week. So, exciting socks for me. We were also looking for the Great Gatsby enamel pin for Aeron because they're sold out of it until May at the theatre. But they don't have it here either. So if anyone has any leads on where we can find a Great Gatsby pin for Aeron James, he wants it for his collection. There's more exciting activity happening. I've told you already, this is a very busy few weeks for Broadway. There's a different opening every night as shows race to open prior to the cutoff for Tony Awards eligibility. Yesterday we were on the hot pink carpet for the Heart of Rock and Roll, and today the carpet is blue for Hell's Kitchen, a new musical on Broadway featuring the existing and original music of Alicia Keys. And up on the LED marquee here, it says opens tonight on Broadway. Well, it did a second ago. There you go, opens tonight. They're setting up the blue carpet for this afternoon's carpet opening, where presumably Alicia Keys will be walking the carpet and possibly some other exciting music industry people. Just ran into a visiting theatre critic from London, friend of ours, which was very nice. And so, of course, stood on the street chatting about all the shows we've seen, all the shows he's seen, and now we're going to go meet another friend who we're seeing Water for Elephants with. We're being very sociable this week, which has been one of the lovely things about coming back to New York. Is the first time like we knew a couple of people, but we've really come to know a lot more people and come to consecrate a lot of very genuine friendships in New York, which is lovely, and that's come to be one of our favourite things about returning to the city. Unexpected moment of sentimentality there as I walk down 44th Street. But there you go. Here we are in the lovely foyer of the Imperial Theatre for this afternoon's performance of Water for Elephants. Of course, we were last here around this time a year ago for Bad Cinderella, and the theatre has for the most part been dark ever since that closed. If you don't know Water for Elephants, this is circus themed, so we do have some nice theming details. Look at that rhino. We do have some themed cups here at the Water for Elephants bar. You can find this bar on your way in as soon as you go through security, and here are the special drinks. We have a Mule Ina with vodka, lime juice and ginger beer, a Rosie Spritzer with rosé wine, triple sec and lemon lime soda, and a Mr. Ginkowski with gin, cranberry juice, prosecco, and a splash of lime juice. And where you're seeing two prices, those are a single or a double. And then past the bar, you'll find the merchandise booth, another creative goods merchandise show with hoodies there. We have bookmarks here, we've got mugs, we've got magnets, we've got another little cute little bracelet. I think that's part of a partnership actually to do with elephants. I'll try and find out some more information about that for you if I can. We have an enamel pin, we have multiple pins, we have key rings, we have a Benzina Brothers circus, we have a hat, we have a pullover, we have more designs. Over here another pullover. Oh no, this is the collaboration. And there you go. And also we have this, a portion of the proceeds from each elephant plush benefits the Global Sanctuary for Elephants. And there are the adorable elephant plushes. So we're here in the Imperial Theatre, it's actually intermission, and we're sat a little further back in the orchestra, so I've come down the aisle to show you this full proscenium because I think it's gorgeous. Of course you can see all of the theatre, very classic with the chandeliers, with the loges, very Broadway, but then have a look at all of this detail. This is a circus set show, all of this around the proscenium and that gorgeous blue curtain and all of the light bulbs. It looks absolutely astonishing. Back in my seat in the back of the orchestra, it kind of looks like I've got a terrible letterbox view. It's really not that bad, and the proscenium only ends just at the very top there, so we haven't missed anything at all thus far, other than the full effect of that gorgeous proscenium outline. But also, and I'm in T, by the way. I'm in T, centre section 106, I believe, 105, 106. It will surprise none of you to learn that I also bought an elephant plush. Look at that! Look at her! She's beautiful. She's got a little Water for Elephants neckerchief on. The elephant in the show is called Rosie. Do I just call her Rosie? Do I call her Imperial? Do I call her Benzini? Is it even a her? What are we thinking? What are we feeling with this elephant? Lovely. It's a nice size. She's so soft. And proceeds go towards helping real elephants. So that's very lovely. Look at the trunk. Look at that. Oh, I just love her. Look at those big ears. Okay, show 1 of 3 of the day done. Get those elephants some more water because my goodness. Also, as we were leaving the theatre, turns out we saw the show on
World Circus Day.
World Circus Day, everybody. Wow. So we got, what are they, little stickers. Little stickers. Let's say World Circus Day. How exciting. What perfect timing. I'm being altogether too casual because we have maybe 15 minutes until our next curtain, which is, we're on 46th, we need to go down to 42nd and a bunch of avenues over on 11th to get to Theatre 555 for a 5 p.m. performance of Five, the musical. It's all a lot of fives. I do want to say quickly about Water for Elephants, and I'm holding my microphone because it's falling off my camera and we're in a rush, but I think this is important to say, is that it's occasionally you see the power of reviews. Obviously I have a lot of thoughts about this as a critic. Oh my god, this is a crowd I'm walking into. Stay to the right, whoosh. Because when last we were in New York, we were talking about when we were coming back, and the shows that we were concerned might not still be open by the time we made it back. And at that time, Water for Elephants was one of the next ones to start previews, and the advance, from what I heard, wasn't looking too great. Hold on, let me get past Moulin Rouge and then finish telling you this story. It's worth it, I promise. I'm back. And what I wanted to say is, from a purely outside perspective, we were concerned the most about Water for Elephants. And now we just came from like a very well sold matinee because it got great reviews and it's one of the only shows opening in recent weeks, and there have been many opening to get a New York Times critics pick. And that seemed to have made all the difference for this show. It also presumably has great word of mouth because it's a really great show. So, yay for reviews doing something positive for once. We always hear a lot about, like, can reviews close a show, like reviews denting a show's success. It's nice to hear about when the inverse happens, when something that like doesn't have the most obvious commercial prospects from the off gets boosted by positive reviews. So yay for the New York Times, yay for elephants, yay for them getting their water, yay for us all. Heading down now. We are between 8th and 9th Avenues on 45th. So we have 3 more streets, 2 more avenues, and then we'll be there. It made sense for us to come over on the avenues first before going down, because so much quieter to walk down 10th Avenue, which is what we're on now, than it is to try and walk down 8th or 9th, because it's a busy Saturday in Manhattan. But it doesn't look like it, just a few streets over. Pretty sure we're coming up to it now. I'm holding my phone with the tickets on and trying to puppeteer my microphone at the same time so you can hear me, but also see where we're going so I can report on these theatre-going activities. But we are in a little bit of a rush, so you'll forgive me some slight haste. I'll try and show as much of this as I can, but it is a one-act show, which is part of what makes this 5 p.m. performance good fodder for the middle of a 3-show day. But do as I say, not as I do. I personally would try and see a shorter matinee. Water for Elephants is one of the longer ones, so we made a little bit of stress for ourselves. Or see something that is closer to 42nd Street so you don't have to go quite so far. Here it is. We made it to our seats. Band are coming on stage. It is about to begin. Last thing we saw here was Sesame Street. We're in E, 103 and 104. We have our playbills. 5, the parody musical. And if you're just finding this out now, this is about the ex-wives of Donald Trump. Of course it is parodying 6, and I'm very excited about that. So in the lobby space, there is this cute little photo opportunity. Aeron saying hello with a hush money check for $130,000 paid to the order of 5, the parody musical. There you go, and you can tag them at 5 the musical using hashtag 5 the musical. It is a lovely day. Oh, it's a lovely day. I just felt the sun hit my face. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I had question marks about how well that was going to land with us, because like...
We don't know many of them that well.
How much of the political context... Well, you see, I know my context for Ivana Trump is like the impressions of her on Saturday Night Live, which captures the entirety of like her caricature, which is also what this was, and like Melania and like Ivanka. I probably follow slightly more.
Yeah.
I figure I probably knew more of the American political references. Also from the Real Housewives sphere, sure. Between Saturday Night Live and Bravo and Twitter is the context for my American political and cultural understanding. I had a great time. Because also the other half of it is so many musical theatre references. Obviously they're parodying Six closely, like really closely, in doing Five, and it's not just the 5 ex-wives of Donald Trump, it's 3 ex-wives of 2 ex-wives and 1 current wife of Donald Trump, and also Stormy Daniels and Ivanka. That's the concept, that's the 5, with special guest appearance that I won't spoil for you in case the show has a resurgence, because its run is finishing here imminently. And obviously question marks about what's going to happen with the current political future of the country ties in with question marks around the show. So, fascinating situation for a developing musical to be in, but had a fun time. What I was going to say was the other half of it is loads of musical theatre references, not only Six but also Chorus Line, which you clocked faster than I did. I did not clock the song parody until there was a line that parodied a line of dialogue in At the Ballet. I don't know what they were for or against really, and then I was like, wait, this is Chorus Line. Also, Chicago, bit of a cell block tango moment, also Wicked, and then a whole medley of like loads of things like Thoroughly Modern Millie and Legally Blonde, and just like all the shows you could possibly imagine. And now we're heading back up a little bit to go and see Suffs, which is actually a fairly winning segue to go from 5, the parody musical, up to Suffs. 5 into 6 might actually be too samey.
Yeah, I think so.
It might actually be too much of the same, but 5 into Suffs, because of the way that the show ends, is kind of a genius 1-2. So we're going right back to where we started our afternoon, because the music box where Suffs is right next to the Imperial, where Water for Elephants is. But before that, we're going to go find some food. Do you still want I Love Pizza New York?
I don't know.
Thinking about it. We're going to consider our options, and we will let you know. So in a non-self-indulgent way, I need to tell you that someone just stopped me on the street and said, I love your work, which I particularly find charming, because that's always the thing that I yell at famous people when I see them, and I want to convey that I love their work, and I'm always like, I don't want to stop them and have a full conversation because I get shy, but I specifically have walked past Christina Bianco before outside the Charing Cross Theatre and yelled, Christina Bianco, I love your work. So someone stopping me and saying, I love your work, I find very nice. So thank you to that person if you are currently enjoying my work. So we did in fact end up back at I Love Pizza New York on like 46th and 9th, I think. But they do a lot of good gluten-free options. They do gluten-free sandwiches, they do gluten-free pasta, they do gluten-free pizza, and they do this, which we've had many times since our first visit. It's gluten-free chicken tenders and fries. The fries are very good. We like Snapple. We like a little bit of honey mustard. We're going to share this and then head to our evening show on Broadway. For context, it is there, literally on the corner of 9th and 46th. We always call it I Love Pizza New York because we're not quite sure
It's got a new name though.
what the name is.
Pasta Kitchen.
Or Vinny's Pasta Kitchen. Gluten-free, vegan. You got a lot of options here. And there's like 1,000,001 pizza, pasta, sandwichy places, fried chicken, fries in Manhattan. But that one we can vouch for the good gluten-free options, which is why we come back. Now we're going to head down to go and get a very unpredictable dessert of schmackaries before heading to the Music Box Theatre to go and see Suffs, which we've heard great things about. So this could be shaping up to be a really great day. Or there could be a line for schmackaries going down the block. I blame myself for talking about it in too many videos. Or we've just never tried to come on a Saturday night between 7 and 8 before. Prime theatre goer time. But my goodness, Is it popular right now? Second plot twist. Schmackeries so run off their feet that they were currently out of gluten-free cookies. And so, solidarity, we did not get Schmackeries. We're just going to go and see a Broadway show instead, which is still a sweet treat of its own, but with more musical theatre sing-songing. Yes. Hilariously, we're about to pass Moulin Rouge at the Al Hirschfeld Theatre for the third time today, and every single time people have been either coming or going. Like the audience have either been arriving or leaving this show. The footfall today at Moulin Rouge, I'm telling you. Now, in the excitement of queuing for Water for Elephants earlier, I didn't get the chance to show you this big sort of poster opportunity they have on the side of this half-demolished building. What great ad space that is for Water for Elephants. Those ads are absolutely huge, as in not only can they get the show artwork, they can also get Choose the Ride, and this brilliant ad that says, on the other side of this wall is the most spectacular show on Broadway. That is absolutely enormous. That is definitely going to grab a lot of people's attention. Meanwhile, you can see the slight geographical nonsense of our day, because we went all the way down to 42nd Street and 11th to then come back to there, literally, from the Imperial for Water for Elephants to the Music Box Theatre where Suffs is playing. We were here just a few nights ago watching the opening night carpet. We're seeing one of the first few performances after opening. It's at the Music Box Theatre where we saw Pearly Victorious back in October. That was our first visit to this theatre. I do like the signage. I just wish that they could turn all that neon a different colour other than green, but I guess it is only green. But like, if it could be purple for this show, and like, I'm sure for other shows with other aesthetics, that would be advantageous. It doesn't not go, I just think it's very green. Anyway, we're going to go pick up our tickets and go and see Suffs. After I've waited for the title to appear. There you go. So you enter the Music Box Theatre on the orchestra level, but then down the stairs at the back of the orchestra you find this lower lobby space, like there are in many Broadway houses. Down here you can find restrooms, you can find coat rooms, you can find some seating areas by some lovely art. For Suffs, they also have a step and repeat photo opportunity over there that says I'm a Suff, and of course the all-important merchandise booth. Let's go have a look and see what they're selling here at Suffs. So here is the merchandise booth. I will say this is the biggest queue I've seen for a merchandise booth, because it's not only merchandise for the show, it's also an important, powerful message that many people resonate with. Like this one here that says keep marching, in this nice purple on white stitched effect. That is, oh, I don't know if you can tell, that's a very, very gorgeous fabric. That looks like a wool, like a very fine wool, which is why it's $400. Hand stitched on wool. That is gorgeous. We have a little, what do you call these, like banner triangular things that say that yellow one and that purple one? I'm not sure. We have a Great American Bitch crop top. We have a little purple hat. We have that same message on a yellow hat over there. We have a tote bag. We have a long sleeve pullover. We have another t-shirt. We have a little the things that the babies wear. I was going to say a singlet. Is that still called a singlet? I don't know. We have, you can see the front and back of the hoodie design there. That is the show logo on a t-shirt in that purple there. We have the show poster. We have notebooks. We have pencils. Over on the other side, meanwhile, we can see that we have some like postcards type things as well. We have badges. We have magnets. You can pretty much see all of that here, but we do also have an enamel pin badge. We have multiple enamel pin badges actually, and a little teacup and saucer set, as well as some books on sale, and another look at this little banner situation here. There you go. And this is a bigger look at the step and repeat board there you go, with all the Suffs logos. And I tell you, this really is a lot of people buying merchandise and or beverages. Do you know what I love is like singing and dancing about something and an issue is all very well, and relevant topical shows are all very well, but actually engaging with the political climate even better. So we have voter registration opportunities down here in the basement lobby space. Are you registered to vote? and then nice little QR code you can scan here at Suffs. Just from watching people getting their photo opportunity with this board, I will say, and I've said it before, if you can install a little installation like this, you can also light it well. I will say, this is a lovely, big, spacious area. This is perfect. People will take photos here. They will put them on social media. It's free advertising for your show. It is great. As content creators, we love these because we can get a photo up here. However, please, I beg you, the lighting. We're in a basement, and this, unfortunately, is not the one. Now, the bar is over on the right-hand side of that same space, and we can just about peek at these specialty cocktails here. We have a fire and tea, which is whiskey, ginger beer, and red wine. That's exciting. And a giggle juice, which is Kettle One peach and orange blossom prosecco, and cranberry juice. I shan't lie, that sounds like a little bit of me, although they don't yet have the Suffs cups in. I think I overheard that they're going to be getting them, they're just not ready yet. Interesting cocktail options. Which one would you choose, everybody? See, this might be some of my favourite merchandise. We're just queuing. Aaron's going to get a pin and possibly that little lavender hat situation. This might be some of my favourite merch on Broadway right now, but though I'm happy to wear Suffs merch and showcase feminist allyship, it is not really geared towards that, and I feel like me, even as a feminist ally with a tote bag that says put the rage in suffrage or great American bitch, it's just not really for me, and that's fine. I don't need to be the target demographic because there were so many people in this merch queue, which is always super cool to see. Also, I didn't get to show you these before, but these are some of the books on offer here. Oh, there you go. This apparently is the actual book referenced when writing the musical, and we also have songs from the show's writer, Shayna Taub. And now we have headed back up to the auditorium. We're in the orchestra J6 and 8. We have our playbills. As a reminder, when you see the ushers and they show you to your seat, they give you a playbill as well. This is our view of the stage. It is very purple with lights round the outside. I do think this is a gorgeous theatre, the Music Box, and I'm very excited to see this show. Zoom in on the purple curtain. Phew, that was me sneezing. I apologise. Of course, one of the most exciting details about this show is its cast. So many recognisable names and so many talented faces we'll be discovering today. Of course, Broadway star Jen Colella, Hannah Cruz, who we saw in The Connector back in January. We have Grace McLean, who we saw in Bad Cinderella, Next Door at the Imperial, this time last year. Nikki M. James from the Book of Mormon, Tony Award winner. J.G. Makapuge, who we saw in Here Lies Love as the alternate in the lead role. We also have writer Shayna Taub and my queen, Emily Skinner, who we also saw this time last year in New York, New York. I would go into battle. I will march wherever Emily Skinner leads. I just love her. Aaron's just pointed out these boxes here, sort of appropriate for the show's political themes, because they do look very sort of White House presidential. I will say box seats are often not the best seats in the house, but they are more about being seen than seeing, and never has that been more true than with these ones. You are on display with these box seats. My goodness, is this where Hillary Clinton sat on opening night? I would like to hope so. We're going to zoom back in on the curtain, and then magically the show will happen. for the sake of a narrative conclusion, oh my god, hey, ended the evening at the Glass House Tavern after hanging out at the Suffs stage door for a bit, largely just to say well done to the phenomenal cast, but went to go hang out with some friends at Glass House, and then because it's Saturday night and New York is the city that never sleeps, we get back and it turns out it's 3 a.m. and we have not 3 shows but 2 shows tomorrow. I've lost the ability to be coherent. We did 3 shows in one day today. It's possible, it's doable. Maybe don't plan quite so stressful a back-to-back as we did, but it is feasible for those of you trying to cram as many shows into your trip, and I know that's a lot of you. More multi-show enjoyment tomorrow. Stay tuned. Oh my god, hey! Hello. It is Sunday in Manhattan, underneath the Palace Theatre. We are crossing underneath the soon-to-reopen Palace Theatre. The first big musical at which, the first big show, which is going to be Tammy Faye, which we saw at the Almeida Theatre. Yeah. Tiny...
I can't imagine it in that
tiny East London Islington Theatre. It's now transferring...
East London? Northern.
Is it not East?
No.
We know my geography is horrible. What does this say behind me? This is not... Oh, this is Ben Platt live at the Palace. So what I was going to say...
And then now it's Tammy Faye.
There you go. Tammy Faye is the first major show opening here, but they're doing some concert stuff. I don't think Ben Platt is actually the first...
We don't know.
...thing reopening the space. My hair is insane. Like, it was like... cute messy earlier. This side, you're doing great work, sweetie. What is that? What are you doing over here? This is not the one. No, that's not good. Anyway, today we're doing different things.
Yeah.
We're doing the same matinee, but different evening shows. Hello, Duncan.
I'm like, oh, coffee for Matt, but I'm like, nope.
Is that the one you went to yesterday, or is it a different one?
That's one I went to.
Ah, there you go. We're both going to see Lempicka at the Long Acre.
Yeah.
Eden Espinosa has been off for a few days. The show's already opened, but Marianne Torres, her standby has been going on and apparently has been sensational, so it's a win-win either way. They are both ex-Elphabas from Wicked.
And we're taking off a new theatre. And Beth Level's in it, and heard great things about all of the cast. We'll get to see Natalie Joy Johnson, who we saw doing her cabaret at the Monocle at Freaky Tiki last week, which was probably in a previous instalment of this vlog. But yes, that's the matinee, and I've dressed in a kind of... I'll show you my outfit at some point. It's Lempickery-ish. And then this evening... I am going to... Oh, you're wearing ours as well. This evening, I am going to the Hayes to go and see Mother Play, which might be opening tonight. I think it is. I think that's where we're sold out.
Yeah, or imminently. Because everything, if it hasn't opened already, it's opening imminently because the Tony Awards eligibility cuts off at the end of this coming week. So everything is opening. So I'm going to go see Mother Play at the Hayes Theatre, starring Jessica Lange. Hello. Celia Kingdon-Bolger, Jim Parsons, hell of a cast, very excited. And you, meanwhile, are going to see... Titanic! Because...
I love Titanic. We haven't seen it since our first trip.
You needed a show for this evening.
Yeah.
Idly checking. You were on the phone to your mum earlier.
Yeah.
And you were telling her you needed a show for this evening. I was like, Aeron loves Titanic. Let me check on Todaytix. And there was a Todaytix rush ticket at like... I mean, they
Literally, there was only one left.
At like 11 something. At like 11:30. And they go on sale at 9 a.m. So that was miraculous.
Yeah.
So Aaron's going to go see Titanic. So I'm having what I call Mother Day, because I'm seeing Lempicka and Mother Play. And you are having like an Alphabet Day.
An Alphabet Day or a Diva Day.
Or Diva Day. We love it. Currently, we're about to go meet a friend from London over a Schmackery's. But for now, we're heading up to Rockefeller to go get some Black Seed bagels. If you saw part 1 of the vlog, you may remember that we got bagels from Black Seed at Chelsea Market when we got here. But they were accidentally thieved, and the good people there were kind enough to give us 2 little cards for $5 off. So Aeron and I are going to go get some reduced bagels for ourselves. What a great way to start the day. So when we say Rockefeller, we're actually in the basement of Rockefeller Plaza, Rockefeller Center, where they have a bunch of different food places, including Black Seed Bagels, but also there's a Luke's, who are hiring. I guess they're opening, or maybe they're already open, just not today. But someone on the carpet of Heart of Rock and Roll, because we were talking about lobster rolls, you may remember, recommended Luke's for lobster rolls. So there you go. But this morning, however, we are not having lobster rolls because we are having bagels. We have just ordered with our $5 off cards. Thank you, Black Seed Bagels.
Yeah.
What did you get?
Same one as last time.
I went for the hot honey ham this time that I was considering.
Different.
So I'm excited. Yes, and this time I'm staring down that window. We're going to be vigilant. What's not going to happen, Aeron James?
Mickey's going to actually look at his food. I mean, you didn't have one last time.
I had ceded responsibility.
So maybe it's better that we have separate ones.
That's fair, that's fair. Bagel theft is what's not going to happen. Nobody's stealing my bagels today. Okie dokie, we found a nice little spot to come and eat our bagels. Aeron is taking a photo of his tuna melt on gluten-free. And we are outside Rockefeller Plaza, near where they normally have an ice skating rink. It's just a currently closed seating section at the moment. It is not ice rinky, but we do have Rockefeller Center there. We've been up the top of that building. That's Top of the Rock that I was asking people about the other day in my carpet questions. Again, throwing it back to the heart of rock and roll carpet. And let me try and show you my bagel. Oh, negotiating a microphone here. Look at that. It is a lot. It is chunky. This is my hand for context. That's a lot of bagel. I'm going to eat it now. Enjoyed the bagels. Had a nice time. I like that they didn't skimp on the ham. That was like a thick amount of ham. However, the cream cheese, is there too much of a good thing? I don't know. We could probably dial back the cream cheese. I don't want to start discourse about this, but it was a lot. It was also had a spicy kick, which was nice. And I'm going to follow it up with, I know we're going to Schmackery's. I'm not actually going to get a Schmackery's. Don't hate me, I love you, Schmackery's. But I'm going to get this other cookie that's stuck in my pocket. Thank you, my love. I got a cookie from Chip City because I also love this style of cookie. This is like a New York stuffed cookie where you can see they have this height to them. And I would be sad if I didn't get these at one point in New York, and so you can get these from Chip City, also in the basement of Rockefeller. I'm having a religious experience. I have seen God, and she has chocolate chips. We find ourselves once again neighboring Times Square. You can see all the way down all of the billboards. You can also see signs for Lempicka, which you can find at the Longacre Theatre. On the right, apparently. It's on 48th, because both the shows on 48th have been directed by Rachel Chavkin. It's because that is the Walter Kerr Theatre where Hadestown is, and this is the Longacre where Lempicka is. This is the queue to get inside for today's 2 p.m. matinee. Oh, that's a lot of people. We're going to go try and make our way into the theatre now. Okay, after rushing through to the box office, through a very long line, and going to the restroom, we have made our way into the auditorium. We are in Orchestra J105 and 106, which puts us in the middle. Look at this gorgeous curtain. My goodness. And it wouldn't be right any other way. But also, look at those cute little boxes. Oh my gosh, is that always like that in the Longacre, or is that just for this show? Those are stunning. I think they match the set design, so I'm going to say that's just for this show. We have the equally gorgeous and striking design on our playbills. And at this performance, so we kind of saw this coming, but not to this extent. So the leading role of Tamara de Lempicka, usually played by Eden Espinosa, will be played by Marianne Torres, who we've heard great things about, but also the role of Rafaela, usually played by Amber Aman, will be played by Shimon Rose, and then that ensemble track played by Mary Page Nance. And I'm excited to see understudies this afternoon. Like, we're not going to be able to participate in discourse perhaps about Tony Award nominations and those things, but we're seeing some great understudy performances, which is always fun, and that is the level of enthusiasm to bring to an understudy performance, especially a debut, let me tell you. So we're in the intermission right now. We found the bar on the basement level at the back of the orchestra, and these are the drink specials. You can get the Muse with peach vodka, ginger beer, and a splash of lime. They love that here on Broadway. the brush stroke, you can see the ingredients there, or the portrait with gin, Campari and sweet vermouth. And we have gone for the brush stroke to have something a little bit different because we've done a lot of peach and ginger beer cocktails. And also it comes in a signature cup, which I wanted because cool artwork. And you can find the merchandise desk in that same downstairs area. Here are all of the prices. We have t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts, pullovers, magnets, pins, mugs, window cards, a hat, a design book, a Taschen book, and a scarf. You're seeing the scarf here, as well as the design book there. And then we can see some of the other items here. You can see their magnet, and that's the enamel pin on the right hand side. That is a t-shirt design. That's the long sleeve. No, that's the pullover in the middle there. The blue is the long sleeve t-shirt. You can see the front and the back. You can see the scarf again. And then this is the hat, which says Le Monocle on it. You can see the show poster as well. I'm struck that everything has a slightly different aesthetic. I like that they're sort of tailored to each individual item, because that hat looks very different to that t-shirt, looks very different to that scarf, looks very different to that long sleeve t-shirt, which is interesting. There is a mug, but I'm going to have to go around the other side to show it to you. Here is the mug. You can see it says Lempicka, and that, if you can't quite read it, says she wasn't driven, she drove, which I just love. And you can see a closer look there at the magnet, and again the enamel pin. The enamel pin is that same design as the magnet, but it's in silver, if you can't quite see it there. Cocktail review and thoughts. Aeron James, would you like another sip to remind yourself?
Yeah. Free, it's okay, it's fine.
Free.
I don't really love it.
I like that I've gone for variety, but then I shouldn't be surprised when it's not as sensational as like the peach and ginger beer combination I've been enjoying elsewhere. Obviously they need to be vodka cocktails because they mention vodka in the show. See, I like the combination of the vanilla vodka with the splash of orange. I think that's nice. I think it's a 3.5. I don't like half-star ratings for shows, but I'll give them for beverages. This is, there we go, because Aeron bought the pin, I can give you a clearer shot now, although it defies lighting. There we go. There you go. That's the pin badge. Very nice. If you didn't know, this show is about the true life of an artist, Tamara de Lempicka, and so there is art everywhere, and you'll notice the show curtain has changed. It kind of refers to what happened at the end of the first act, and it's different for intermission. So if you want photos with that first curtain, get it before the show starts. Another day, another opening as we pass the Samuel J. Friedman Theatre, part of the Manhattan Theatre Club. It is the opening carpet for Mary Jane, starring Rachel McAdams. So look, you can see a poster over here. You can see multiple posters. She is hilariously on Broadway in a play at the same time that The Notebook, the musical adaptation of the book that was also adapted into a film she famously starred in, is also on Broadway a few streets over. So I think we're going to go meet friends. Just saw Lempicka got out a little bit later because it started 20-25 minutes later than it was supposed to. When we got there was a massive queue and I was like, oh my gosh. And I'm now putting 3 and 5 together and making 8 because I think...
correct.
I know. I used to do it professionally. Because the queue was there, I think, because they held the opening of the house. They can't let people into the building until they're really ready to let people into the auditorium and into their seats in New York, because they don't have much by way of foyer lobby spaces. In London, they can open the theatres, people go to the bars, and then they open the auditorium subsequently. But I think they were still rehearsing on the stage because we had understudy and swing debuts happening today, so I think they were rehearsing right up to curtain as much as they could. And so that, I think, is why everything ended up going a little bit late. Man has run past me here on 8th Avenue. Also, I told you I would show you what we were wearing specifically for Lempicka today, because obviously, like, strong aesthetic to that show. It's about an iconic artist, and so we're wearing like artisty outfits. I'm not going to film it now. I'm going to give us the gift of not having to pose on the street, and instead I'm just going to superimpose. Here is what I was wearing, here, magically, and here is what Aeron James is wearing, here, magically, with photos that we took at... Okay, another tip for you. The Long Acre Theatre, hard to get a photo in front of it because there's like scaffolding on either side and not enough sidewalk, and like the other side of the street is too far away. If you go one street down to where the back of the theatre is, where we just were at the Samuel J. Friedman, that's where that Lempicka poster is. Thank me later. And now I'm here at the Hayes Theatre, operated by Second Stage Theatre Company, to see Mother Play. It is a day of mothers. Mothering Sunday, you might say, with Jessica Lange, Jim Parsons, and Celia Keenan-Bolger. 11 weeks only, one mother of a cast. Literally amazing cast. The show opens next week. Seeing one of the final preview performances, I'm very excited. Let's go inside. Okay, so the merchandise at Mother Play is not plentiful, but it is amazing. So we have these hats that say Mother in a remarkable example of understanding one's audience. We also have the window cards, which is what they call posters here. And I got a hat. Look at this. It says Mother Play, but more importantly, it simply says Mother on the front. And that whimsy continues with the naming of the cocktails. We have the Mother, which is a French rocks martini with absolute vodka, raspberry liqueur, and pineapple juice. The Daughter, which is a cherry Tom Collins with beefeater gin, cherry schnapps, club soda, and a splash of lime juice. And the Sun, which is a lime Ricky with Jack Daniel's whiskey, triple sec, club soda, and a splash of lime juice, served tall. Tonight's live entertainment brought to you by this brass cover of Take On Me on the subway platform. Someone was doing like a full rock concert in the subway concourse back there, the Times Square 42nd Street subway station, with like dozens of people standing and watching and applauding, having a great time. It's all going on in New York, let me tell you. Oh my god, hey! Hi. Hello everyone! Today's the day, the sun is shining, the tank is clean, and it is a Monday here in Manhattan. We've just...
Tonight's the night.
Tonight's the night. Rod Stewart, random. That was the name of his jukebox musical. Anyway, so did I. We've gone wildly off-piste. We are still in New York, seeing a bunch of Broadway shows, walking towards the Broadway show we're seeing tonight, in fact. And it's a Monday night here on Broadway, which is usually a bit of a quieter time. Most shows are dark on Monday nights, which is sort of a bit of an alien concept for people more used to West End theatre. A Broadway Monday night is kind of more like our Sunday, but Broadway Sundays are also now kind of like our Sundays, because most shows do a Sunday matinee but not an evening. In any case, Monday, not a very busy Broadway day, but there are still some shows that do Monday nights, including the Heart of Rock and Roll are doing a Monday night performance tonight in what will technically be their official opening. They had kind of a split opening because of Passover, I think, is the reason?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And also because it's a very crammed and busy time of openings, like I keep telling you. And I'm back. Stopped to have a lovely conversation with someone who watches my videos, who is also seeing the show tonight. So we are seeing, I think I told you, the Heart of Rock and Roll.
The other way's better.
Here at the... Where? Where?
Oh, there.
Oh yeah. The Heart of Rock and Roll, which I'm given to understand is still beating. That's backwards. That's backwards. If you recognise this theatre and the name of this show, it's because we were stood here days ago for their gala opening on Friday on the hot pink carpet interviewing the stars, and I have spent all day editing that footage, which is why we're in the city a little bit later. But we're seeing the show tonight. Kate is seeing the show tonight because Kate just grabbed a ticket from the box office. So I know I've told you before, if you want to get cheap tickets, you can come at the crack of dawn to Manhattan and queue up on the sidewalk until the box office opens. Sometimes you can turn up less than an hour before the show and get a ticket for a 2-figure amount of money.
And they did give me a little bit of a discount because it was a last second ticket.
And because of your winning personality. There you go. There you go. So we are seeing a show together. Yay! You've seen Hard Rock and Roll already.
I have.
And you're excited.
I'm excited to see it again, yeah.
Yeah, and we're excited to see it because we've heard lovely things.
Yeah, we've heard great things.
Yeah, so excited to see the show, and as and when we go into the building, I will obviously be showing you all of the things, and I feel like I'm going to be buying a cocktail. I feel like it's a cocktail evening.
Also,
because we had...
It's a cocktail show.
We had a great lunch with big sandwiches and fried food. I haven't had a sweet thing, and so I feel like a cocktail ticks off the fact.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm simultaneously thirsty and need desserts, so themed cocktail. The sidewalk of whatever this is, 48th is clearly the place to be because Tom Francis, who just won an Olivier Award for his leading role in Sunset Boulevard, which is of course transferring here to the Broadway later this year to the St. James Theatre, was just standing next to us. And I think he's also seeing the Heart of Rock and Roll on this glorious Monday night. I did suggest that I should go up to him, hold my camera out and start walking backwards and see if he instinctively started singing Sunset Boulevard while walking down the street. But that's also a weird thing to do to someone without their consent or understanding, so ultimately decided against. Would either of you two like to sing Sunset Boulevard while walking down the street?
I'm not being paid right now.
We are heading into the theatre. Can anyone give me a time check as to what kind of time the line started moving?
It's currently 7:06. I don't know what time.
Yeah, okay, so I think they probably opened the house at about half hour. Tonight's a 7:30 show, so they opened it at 7. Obviously, as British people, we're very used to a 7:30 show, but this is irregular here in New York. And I mean, the times are slightly different every day of the week, so you just end up checking in a panic regardless. But we are getting ready to head into the James L. Jones Theatre. We were last here in October for Gutenberg, and now we're back for the Heart of Rock and Roll, which, as I previously mentioned, is in fact still beating. So there's this lovely extension space of the James L. Jones Theatre where you can find a bar, a merchandise stand, and a photo opportunity. Be someone at the Heart of Rock and Roll on Broadway. Yes, Kate, modelling for us. Aeron and I did not give you rock and roll posings. We went for look how cute we are. So the photo op is there, and then just across from it we have a merchandise stand where you can get, of course, apparel. We have some different t-shirt designs. Of course, the show features the music of Huey Lewis, so just like Back to the Future, you can hear The Power of Love. We have this other t-shirt with the show logo on. That same logo also appears in a zipped hoodie and a baseball cap, which is quite cute. And then we have some little things down here as well. We have a pin set, and we have some magnets as well. That was me stalling for time and trying to remember the word for magnets. And we also have a mug, and then one last t-shirt design just over the other side there that says, "Do you believe in love?" at the Heart of Rock and Roll, which I will remind you is still in fact beating. And then our final spot in this lovely room is going to be the bar in fact, which we were in line to right now. But also, look at the beautiful wall over there. This is such a lovely space. This was added on to the theatre to give it a little bit more space for all of this stuff. And I love how light it is in here as well. I was talking the other day about a similar photo opportunity over at Suffs, and I said it wasn't lit very well, and this one definitely is. And it's also just lovely. And you can also just about see the signature cocktails. We've got bourbon for a living with bourbon, ginger beer and lime juice. We've got the Power of Love, which has tequila, Sprite and blue curacao, and we have the Heart of Rock and Roll, which has kettle peach, soda and cranberry. Tell us about these beverages, team.
This is very strong.
Yeah, that is tequila. Yeah.
This is the Heart of Rock and Roll. I already forget which liquor is in here, but it's not. Sure. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It tastes kind of like a White Claw, where the fruit is very light, and it's like, but you can taste the alcohol a little bit, but it's good.
How many hearts out of 5?
I would say 3.5 hearts.
Same question.
3.5 also, and it rocks. Because it heats your throat, so you feel like a bit like a jagged rock.
That rocks. And these are our seats. Again, it looks like I've got a little bit of a letterbox, but with my eyes it's fine because people aren't that tall. Look at this very cool curtain for the Heart of Rock and Roll. We're actually in intermission right now, and the show is about to restart. The first act has been very fun. I'm looking forward to the second. And for context, we are in N105 and 106 of the Heart of Rock and Roll, which, having seen the first act, I am now qualified to tell you is 100% still beating. Aeron might sneeze, everyone. Pineapple. Still there. We are now prepared to go live to our correspondent Aeron James at the James L. Jones Theatre. Oh my gosh, Aeron James at the James L. Jones Theatre. Yeah, for a status update on the Heart of Rock and Roll. Can you confirm if it is in fact still beating?
It is very much still beating.
You know, that's what I'd heard. Rumours had led me to believe that, but we are prepared to call the race for the Heart of Rock and Roll. It is still beating. I promise to stop telling you that now. But as was suggested in the curtain call, it is in fact still beating. Not only still beating, it's doing a great job. Yeah. And we had a great time. What was fun about this evening is, again, because of the weirdness of their like split opening thing where they like had a gala show and a celebration and a party on Friday, and the reviews came out tonight. The reviews came out during tonight's show. So we got word of them. We got word of them in the intermission, and it's had positive reviews. So yay! Joyous night at the theatre. Yay for the cast. Yay for the creatives. Yay for the Heart of Rock and Roll. I'll point out where the stage door is, so you can greet this fabulous cast after the show and tell them what a great job they did. But it's pretty straightforward because the entrance is just under this lit marquee here, and the stage door is the barricaded area just down to the right-hand side of the box office. There you go. And today, on this chill Monday evening, the night ends at Junior's, where Kate has just got the most enormous strawberry cheesecake. The cheesecake is fine. It's the strawberries on top that are huge. I'm slightly allergic, but I feel like those would kill me. Ben's got the Devil's Food cheesecake. Lovely modelling. All the devils are there, Patrick Page. And I have got the Oreo cheesecake. It is my third Junior's flavour of the last week. I have absolutely no regrets. If anything, I'm not eating them fast enough. And we're drinking Shirley Temples. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to eat my cheesecake now. Walking to the subway now, but just admiring the Empire State Building in her green era. Is it giving Wicked? Is it giving The Wiz? Is it giving my green light from The Great Gatsby? The Great Gatsby in Manhattan being a story in which Gatsby is at the top of, I guess, like Rockefeller, and looking at Daisy's green light on the Empire State. and one of them's King Kong. I'm gonna get the subway now. Now we are back in Brooklyn, and I can confirm Aeron James once again has a giant Reese's peanut. Turn it the other way so we can see the depth of, like, look at that. It's Aaron's head for comparison.
This is why I didn't have anything at Juniors.
Yeah, because giant Reese's. If anyone remembers our very first New York vlog and the joy on Aaron's face at the giant Reese's peanut butter cup.
I can't believe it, because like Reese's only really existed in the UK like maybe 10 years ago, and like I'm a massive like hazelnut but also like peanut butter boy, so like the concept of Reese's was like my favourite thing ever. And then when we saw this and it was a build your own and that big, I was like, and I was also like, and I can have it, because often the fun stuff I can't have. So it was just like perfection.
Hey. Oh my god, hey! It looks very windswept. It's not actually that bad. Let me try and resolve this. Happy Tuesday! We are currently dressed for different events.
But in the same event.
Is what's happening here. But we are all going to Tommy later this evening. The Who's Tommy? And by the end of this evening, I will find out the answer to that question. Who is Tommy? I don't know. But every time I look at my t-shirt, I sing, Tommy, we have so much in common, from How to Dance in Ohio. So
Out of Critter Circle did not sing today.
No, they did not. They did not. In the run-up to the Tony Award nominations, we're starting to see nominations announced for from a bunch of other awarding bodies. So we've had the Drama League, Outer Critics. Have we had Drama Desk yet?
No, Monday.
Oh, Drama Desk is Monday. There you go.
We will have arrived in the UK, and then that will be
And then
madness.
The big one on Tuesday.
And then the madness of the Tony Award nominations. But after this evening, we will have a little bit more insight, because we'll have seen another of the eligible shows, because we'll have seen Tommy. We're going to get on the subway now, and I'll see you momentarily. We are in Times Square. We're on 41st Street, where the Nederlander Theatre is. It's a while before the show yet, but we were just at the Nederlander Theatre down there, outside the Who's Tommy, wearing our Who's Tommy merch. Aaron's got the baseball cap. I have the t-shirt, because we wanted to take photos in the merch before there's like a big queue and a load of people. It's just easier to do it earlier in the day. If you've ever seen film or TV where this is playing on the streets of Manhattan, you're like, that's so cliche. Apparently it's not.
No, it's everywhere. It's all over Brooklyn Bridge.
New York! It's going to demonetize this video so fast. We're not seeing Hell's Kitchen tonight. We're seeing the Who's Tommy. Where is the Who? Who is the Who? All of these questions. We got a little bit of time before the show, for like an hour and 45 I expect, so gonna walk around. We haven't been to Theatre Circle yet, which is another Broadway gift shop type place. We might pop back to Drama Bookshop. The day is still quite young and full of possibilities. Hate this. Here is your obligatory view of 42nd Street. That way is Times Square, heading up towards Central Park. It's quite a nice day. It's windy, it's a little bit chilly, but otherwise spring is attempting to spring. Gotta say, with no shade whatsoever to the musical, 42nd Street, probably one of my least favorite streets in Midtown Manhattan. Maybe even the least, because just busy. If by come and meet those dancing feet they meant like people selling churros on the street and loudly advertising hop on hop off bus tours, then sure. But it's just, there's a couple of theatres on 42nd. You've got the New Amsterdam, which is gorgeous. You've got the newly renamed Todd Haynes Theatre, where Doubt has just finished playing. That used to be the American Airlines. We saw Fat Ham there. But aside from that, there's an Applebee's, there's Target. It's just very...
Aladdin's there?
Yeah, Aladdin's there at the New Amsterdam. Oh good, King Kong's here. It's all go today in Times Square. I've reached the point of my trip where the wonderment of Times Square is gone. He's with one of the Ninja Turtles, Donatello, I believe, based on the purple. Yeah, the wonderment has subsided, and I'm still very much in love with Broadway. in the sense of it. The street, less so much. I have Times Square fatigue, and I'm feeling the inclination to dart left and head towards Schubert Alley, which I much prefer. Just spotted this advertisement of the reunion concert of the Broadway cast of How to Dance in Ohio. If you're wondering why they're doing a reunion concert pretty soon after the Broadway run closed, we saw it back in January and it closed later that month. It has a lot to do with trying to build momentum for a Tony Awards campaign. And this is this the Palladium?
Yeah, the Palladium Times Square.
Oh, that's the venue where it's going to be. It's next to the entrance to the Minskoff Theatre, where the Lion King is. I wonder if the Palladium, I guess the Palladium's in the same building. R.I.P. Shucked. Previous tenant of the Nederlander Theatre, where we are seeing The Who's Tommy this evening. You may be gone, but you are not forgotten by 11th Avenue, where these two billboards still sing your praises. Sad to see. I'm willing to confide in you all that we are at something of a loose end. Just kind of strolling around. We went to Taco Bell to get, what was the
Baja Blast.
Baja Blast. But we're not really hungry enough to go get food, which kind of shapes your immediate pre-theatre activity. We don't it's too early to go for cocktails. I mean, it's not, but we'll probably do that again after or not. I don't know. We're walking towards the river because we haven't really seen the Hudson yet. In fact, we're walking towards the Intrepid, which is interesting. Popped into Theatre Circle, popped into a couple shops. We might do some shopping at some point. It's the middle of the trip. It's not the beginning when we're all excited about being here, and it's not the end when we're nostalgic about the fact that we're about to leave. It's just the middle where we're still here. It's a Tuesday. We sort of came into the city a couple hours before the show to be in Manhattan, to make the most of it. And now that we're here, it's what do we do? What do we do other than avoid Times Square? Because for some reason, unbeknownst to me, it's hell today. But this view is nice. Note to anyone looking for a nice chill place to sit. This is by the Intrepid and the piers. I think this is near where we got the Circle Line cruise the last few times we were here, but they have nice benches and a dog park, so a cute little spot for anyone looking for a little bit of respite from busier parts of Manhattan. We have in fact, however, having been very early, have now, of course, played a little fast and loose with timings, and now need to head back to the Nederlander Theatre because it's 6:20 and it's going to take us 20 minutes to get back. So going to head over there and go and check out The Who's Tommy, where hopefully we'll find out who Tommy is and show you all the usual things, the merchandise and the drinks, and we will attempt to recover from the painful reality that we are not there to see Shucked. R.I.P. Gone, but not forgotten. But we made it on time. We are queuing to get into the Nederlander Theatre that you can see up there. The screens are curiously blank at the moment. They definitely had Tommy stuff on when we were here earlier, taking photos in the merchandise. The fact that it's yellow on those boards underneath these ones here, still for a split second makes me think, Shucked. But it's not. It's not. I'll get over it at some point, I promise. We do have these cool doors here that say Tommy, and you can pose with your favourite letter of that, I guess. So just after you enter the building on the far left of the box office, which is what you're seeing there, you can find this, which is the cast board, which tells you the company, and it tells us that the roles, usually played by Tassie Kerbas, will be played by D. Tomasetta. I think because it's in that bottom section and not the top section, that's an ensemble track being played by a swing rather than a principal track being played by a standby or an understudy from the ensemble, I am assuming. And we can also see this evening's stage managers and the conductor, Rick Fox, and as well as some names we recognise here in the company, Adam Jacobs from Aladdin, Alison Luff. So at the back of the orchestra section you can find merchandise booths over in the middle there, which is where you enter the orchestra, and then further over this side you will find your bar area. I'm going to try and show you the themed beverages, but it's busy over here. We've got a full tilt, vodka, peach, cranberry and lime juice. We've seen that flavour called a lot of different names, a lot of different shows. The Acid Queen, which is lime, triple sec, dry gin and soda. Rum sparks. Oh, that sounds interesting. Spiced rum, passion fruit liqueur, soda and ginger ale. That sounds a lot like the drink we used to like at Shucked, actually. Whiskey Wizard, which is whiskey, sweet vermouth, and bitters. A Sensation Spritz, sparkling wine, Aperol and soda. And a See Me, Drink Me, tequila. Next to corn liqueur, lemon soda, and ginger ale. Okay, a little bit of breadth on this menu. I don't hate that. I've just noticed that the Acid Queen has the letters L, S, and D in a different colour. What could that mean? We've got a very cool sound desk at the back here with a lot of exciting lit up kind of things that says Gareth Owen Sound. We love Gareth Owen's work. Gareth Owen, amazing sound designer. So these merchandise booths are identical on either side of the orchestra, so just go to whichever one's quieter. We've got a tote bag here that says Tommy, can you hear me? Which I just sang like it was Yentl. It's not, but that is $30. We also have a hat up there that says Tommy on the front. We have that same logo on a t-shirt. That's the t-shirt I'm wearing right now. And on the back is the set list for the show. You're like a walking playbill with all that information. We have some more t-shirt designs down here. There you go. We have a pinball wizard design on that one. We have a poster there. And I'm going to show you this little cabinet of trinkets as well because we have a lot of exciting things. We have a mug down there that says Pinball Wizard and the Who's Tommy. Should the mug be black? I don't know. We have some little novelty guitar picks there for the musicians. Only $8. That's a bargain. And we have a pin set there with 3 different pins. But possibly my favourite pin is this standalone one they're selling here. I just think that looks really pretty. That has the Tommy logo. You can also get that on a magnet. There's also an ornament. At what point am I going to start buying all these ornaments to have a musical theatre Christmas tree? That feels inevitable. And we finally, a little key ring here that has a little guitar and that Tommy logo again. This is our view. If you're only seeing an outline, it's because the curtain is basically white noise, but very faint white noise. It may look like more later, well, hopefully during the show, but we have pretty good seats. We are on the aisle. You can see my lovely aisle down here. It is very dark in here. Apologies if you can't see anything at all. But we are in E113 and 114, and we have our playbills here in the Nederlander Theatre. There you go, all very nice. I've missed being on an aisle seat. I'm happy about that. You bet whatever queue I want to be in the intermission, I'm going to be the first one there. If I want the restroom, if I want the bar, I will be the first one there. Gosh, it's dark in here. Spooky. Hello, welcome back to the darkness. I had, interestingly, a whole survey audience demographic form on my chair that I've just filled out because I like to help. And if you get one of those, by the way, you can write in under where did you find out, where do you go for your Broadway information? Feel free to write in MickeyJoTheatre. The people should know. But also, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, in terms of demographics for this show, I have never seen this before. The men's line was so much longer than the women's that they have started moving men across to the women's restroom. That normally happens literally the other way around. Like Moulin Rouge has a sign in their toilets that say the men's toilet turns unisex after 10 minutes of the intermission. And the men are here for the Who's Tommy. Let me tell you. Aeron James, how is the beverage? This was the rum-based beverage.
It's alright. It's not like the Shucked one.
It's not like the honk of your corner. This is the rum spark. I think the rum sparks. Is it not a sensation?
No.
It's not a sensation. Can I try some? Can you pour it into my mouth? I have to hold it. I like that it's different to a lot of other stuff we've had, but it's missing that little flavour kick. It's just a bit thin. But a beverage is a beverage, and the first act necessitated one. We're going to watch the second now. I'll see you at the curtain call. You gotta love a musical that was written when everyone was on drugs.
We don't know.
We don't. Yeah, that's just my assumption, having seen the show. But yeah, seen that one. That was Tuesday night. I think the stage door is congregating over there. The screens at the Nederlander Theatre still aren't working, but that's fine. That's their prerogative. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, a standing ovation started before the show ended because everyone walked forwards, and there are so few clap opportunities in the show that everyone applauded because they were standing there like they were about to bow, but they were still singing in harmony, and it was very powerful. So people stood up, started clapping, and then two women just left in a walkout, not of disappointment, but of like sufficient satisfaction. The show was like moments from finishing, but hadn't, and they were like, you know what, that's enough. I've actually had enough, but in a pleased way. They're just like, that's it, that'll do.
Bye.
Would rather be the first on the subway, and it was a 7 o'clock curtain as well, so it's not late. It's pre 10 p.m, but they were like, no, we got places to be.
Weekday.
Listen, it's Manhattan. Anyway, we're going to go find our friends who are also seeing the show tonight, and then I think group discussions are probably going to happen.
For 10 more seconds, I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey, thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!